Okay, great. So we shall start with the first module, which is the rise of internet and social media. Okay, in terms of business, in the past, they advertise a lot in the newspaper, radio, television, and banners to get their customers. However, they find that it is now losing its effectiveness. When you read the newspaper, Straits Times, you find that there are lesser and lesser advertisements there. And the newspaper is getting thinner and thinner. Okay. In the past, more than half the newspaper is advertisements. Okay. So it's a fact that all the newspapers around the world that are still surviving, they're all declining in terms of their advertising revenue. And one by one, many of them are actually either closing shop permanently or they are transiting into the online space. Okay. Why is that the case? Because all the customers are all going online to perform most of the activities, like reading the news. Now the news are on video, shopping, and so on. Okay, so when the customers are online, all the businesses have to go online to advertise because the other medium, like radio, like newspaper, are not so viewed by so many customers. Okay, so the advertisements are all going to online, like email, like social media marketing, like search engine optimization, banner ads, and so on. Okay, so this is quite a huge change for a lot of companies. Okay, so that's why for prospecting, if all the customers are also online for prospecting, it is easier for us to get our customers online. And then the whole situation has been accelerated by COVID-19 when everyone is working from home and there are a lot lesser networking events available out there. Okay, because all your customers are also going online and a lot of networking events are also now online. Yeah. Okay, so what are the activities that we are performing that has all gone online? I think these are the more common ones. Like people are now looking for a job online. In the past, they check the advertisement, job ads in the newspaper. Property sales, they look for properties online. Buying and selling of cars is online. Banking is now online or even mobile. Okay, then payment, we pay a lot of our bills online. Most of us don't write checks anymore. Last time we always write a lot of checks. And I think in 1 year's time, the checkbook will also no longer exist. Okay. Matchmaking, looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend now is all going online. Shopping is all online. Making phone call now, we don't talk so much over the phone. We are just WhatsApp to each other. Taking taxi is now changed to Grab or Gojek. Advertisements, it has all been going online. Holiday bookings, now we book online. Watching movies is all online on YouTube or on Netflix. Okay, now even seeing the doctor is also can be online. Even food also now is all delivered to our house. Okay, so all these activities are all going online, which is a lot of our time spent is being online. So if that's the case, then prospecting for new leads better be online because the offline way is actually losing its effectiveness. Okay, why activities are going online is because we can perform the activities cheaper, better, faster, and more convenient for us. Okay, so there's so much more advantage. Wouldn't you want to do something that's cheaper than that or is more expensive? So of course, if it's cheaper, better, faster, people would prefer to perform the activities online. So you see that in 1 minute online, there are millions of activities being performed around the world. Okay, in 1 minute in the offline world, we cannot accomplish much. But within 1 minute, there are a million of people logging onto Facebook, 18.1 million WeChat messages are sent out, YouTube videos are viewed, and so on, millions and millions of activities. Another reason why all these activities are possible is because a lot of these activities can be automated and run by software instead of us doing the work manually ourselves. We can be very slow. Okay, and also we have limited time to perform all these activities. So if the software can do it on our behalf, we can free up our time to focus on other matters. Okay, so going forward, the major factors that will affect our success in our lives are these: knowledge. Okay, we need to continually acquire new knowledge because there are new ways of doing things, new information, new regulations that's coming on board. So whatever that we have learned in the past will get obsolete faster and faster. Okay, so and on top of that, our role to our customers is an advisor and consultant. So if we have more knowledge, we can add more value to our relationship with our customers. Okay. So going forward, more and more knowledge will be coming on board. The second factor that will affect our success is technology. I think most of us are aware that businesses that adopt technology will come out a lot better, faster, and more advantageous than businesses that still depend on manual labor. Okay. So in Singapore, the government is pushing very hard for everyone to adopt technology and digitization. And number three, it is a competition. Okay, if your competition will also embrace all the new knowledge and all the technology to be many steps ahead than the competition, than everyone else. So we need to outcompete and keep up with all the changes, otherwise we'll be left behind. Okay, so on the internet, there are hundreds of social media sites. I think most of you are familiar with websites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. Okay, so the one that we'll be focusing on is LinkedIn. Okay, because many of the websites are for social media, social networking. Okay, but LinkedIn is meant for business and professional networking. Okay, so there are a lot of very good leads there. And the other reason why we network on LinkedIn is because then we can get the customer's email address so that we can keep in touch with them at a more personal level. So the other social media websites, you can't get the customers or the prospects' email address. Okay. So about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network with more than 722 million members in more than 200 countries worldwide. Okay, so in Singapore alone, there are more than 2 million plus members on LinkedIn. So there are a lot of prospects that you can find. Okay, and you don't have to worry about others who are on LinkedIn because you can find your own target prospects, and so can others. Okay. LinkedIn is a global website. It is founded by this guy called Reid Hoffman in his living room on 2003. Okay, May 2003, and in 13 years' time, he sold it to Microsoft for 26.2 billion. Okay, US billion dollars. Okay, that's almost 30 billion Singapore dollars. Okay, so Reid Hoffman is part of the PayPal 12, the 12 members who founded PayPal. Okay, and the 12 of them have gone on to build a lot of giant tech companies. Like one of them is Elon Musk, who is now the richest man in the world. The rest, three of them have started YouTube, and then they were sold to Google for billions of dollars. So Reid Hoffman started LinkedIn. He's also an early investor of Facebook. Okay, so this LinkedIn is actually a very established website around the world. So Jeff Weiner is the CEO, currently is the CEO of the company. Okay, so the vision of LinkedIn is to create an economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. And the mission of LinkedIn is to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. Okay, so instead of running all over the place to different events to reach out to new customers, all you need to do is to sit in the comfort of your office or in your home on your laptop, and you can reach out to millions of professionals on LinkedIn. Okay. What are the key reasons why people are on LinkedIn? Number one, they are there to look for jobs. Okay, it started off as a job portal. Number two, they are there to look for candidates. So like some of you who might be recruiting, there are a lot of qualified candidates there that you can network with and recruit, and you can recruit them. Number three, people are there to look for customers. So if you are there to network, you can find customers there. Okay. Number four, look, they are there to look for business partnership. Okay, to collaborate with other businesses. Number five, people are on LinkedIn to share information about their products or their service. And number six, they are there to brand and promote their business. Okay, so these are the 6 most common reasons why people are on LinkedIn. Okay, so of course you are not looking for a job, but from number 2 to number 6, 5 good reasons for you to be on LinkedIn. Okay, so a lot of people have also mentioned this online, and I totally agree that if you are not prospecting on LinkedIn, you are actually missing out big time. Okay, on a lot of business opportunities. 80% of my business come from LinkedIn, from people that I meet on LinkedIn. Okay, so as you know, I do training to the financial services industry, and through Zoom, I do my training through Zoom online. So I'm not out there meeting people. I'm always at home. Okay, so how do I get my customers if I'm always staying at home? Okay, so I get all my customers through LinkedIn. Okay, so I would just like to share with you to illustrate the advantages of using LinkedIn for prospecting purpose by comparing with the conventional way of networking. That means we go out to join a networking event and then collect name cards from people that we meet there, as compared to the LinkedIn way of networking. Okay, so in the past, has just like any other advisors, when I start the business, I need to reach out to more customers. So one way is, of course, referral, but referral didn't work so well for me. So I have to look for other places to get leads. Okay. So I joined a lot of networking events to get leads. And this was what I experienced. And I think this is the case for most advisors as well. Okay, first of all, you need to block out your time to attend those events. Most networking events take about 1 hour, and you have to travel back and forth. So eventually you take up about 3 hours of your time. You have to pay to attend those events, either for your own food and drinks or for the venue's membership. Number 3, the events happen sporadically. It doesn't happen all the time. Maybe there are different events, so they happen like once or twice a month. Okay. Number 4, there are limited leads at those events. Okay, hang on, my phone is flat. Yeah. Okay, so there are limited leads at those events, even though there might be about 40 to 50 people attending those events, but I can't reach out to all of them. So I usually get about 5 or 10 name cards every time I go for those events. Okay. But when I reach back home, I look at those name cards. Out of the name cards I've gotten, about 50% are not my target market. They could be property agents, MLM, or agents from other companies, insurance agents from other companies. So those leads that I've gotten may not be suitable, and then I have to, I've got a lot less leads. Okay. And number 6 is that I do not know the background of the lead other than their contact information on their name card and their title. I don't have much knowledge about their background. Okay, so this was the experience that I had, but I still kept in touch with them and eventually closed some cases. Okay, now let's take a look at LinkedIn way of networking, which is like any other activity that is going online. What are the differences? Okay, so for LinkedIn, you don't need much time at all. At the convenience, anytime you are waiting for your family members, you have 10-15 minutes to kill, you can pull out your handphone and you can start networking with a lot of qualified leads online. Okay, it is free. We don't have to pay anything to network on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has paid plans as well, but the plan that I'm going through with you is free. The plan that I'm using to get 14,000 over customers, prospects on LinkedIn is also free. So we are focusing on the free plan. Okay. Do we need to upgrade to the paid plan? Not necessary. I've checked out all the features in the paid plan. I've also upgraded before, but I don't find there's any advantages. The prospecting can be done at your own convenience. If you can't sleep in the middle of the night, you can actually switch on your phone and you can start connecting with people online. Okay, so you don't have to like block out your time to be prospecting. Okay, so sometimes in between work, I want to take a break. I just go to LinkedIn, see what's happening there, and start net prospecting with the customers there. Okay. Anytime you prospect, there's unlimited leads that you can find on LinkedIn. Okay, so it's not limited to 5 or 10. You can get lots of them, unlimited number of them. Okay, for me, every day I send out invitations to connect on LinkedIn, and about 5 to 10 people will accept my invitation to connect every day. Okay. Number 5, the leads are targeted. I will go through with you how to define the kind of profile of prospects that you want to target. Okay, so we do not want to get a whole database of people from all kinds of background. It's very difficult to service them. How do we find the kind of people that you want to focus your prospecting efforts on? Okay. And number 6 is that people that we meet on LinkedIn, we can see where they have worked in the past, how many years they have worked, their education background of the lead, and so on. So we have a lot of information about them. Okay, where they studied, where they work, what are their skills, what are their job title, who are they connected with on LinkedIn. Okay, so you can see that there are so much advantages that we can benefit from if you can take your prospecting activities online. Okay, another question that you all might have is it legal to be sending emails to those people that you have gotten to know on LinkedIn? Okay, so this is the information that I've gotten from PDPA's website. Okay, first of all, email is not under DNC. So there's no do not call registry for DNC. DNC is for phone. It means you cannot call them if they register with the DNC to call them or to fax or to WhatsApp to them. They can complain against you. Okay, if they have placed their number on the DNC. But for email, do not fall under DNC. Okay, so the question is that do we need their permission to send them emails? This is what PDPA say. Okay, the question is how do the data protection provisions apply to my mailing or email address? Okay, an individual's mailing or email address that is provided by the individual has a business contact information would generally not be covered under PDPA. Organizations would not be required to seek consent from an individual before collecting, using, or disclosing his business contact information. Okay, so there's no legal problems that will happen if you send them an email. After all, my practice is that I do not send emails to people I do not know. Okay, there is no point, and people can report spam about your email. What I do is that I get introduced to them first on LinkedIn. They know me and they acknowledge that they want to network with me, and then I get their email address, and then I keep in touch with them. Okay, so it is not spamming to people who do not know who I am. Okay, so LinkedIn has grown to be a very popular way of communicating with people. A lot of world leaders are also joining LinkedIn because they want a direct communication channel to their citizens. Okay, so this was reported in the papers on the 1st of September last year, almost 1 year ago. Okay, and they said in the papers, it was reported that the Prime Minister's official spokesman said that it was particularly important for Mr. Johnson to connect with businesses during the economic recovery. Okay, so other prime ministers like Emmanuel Macron from France, Canadian, Justin Trudeau, and New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, they are all members of LinkedIn. Okay, so this is not like a very childish kind of website for people to network. World leaders, they are also on social media, and they realize that actually social media is more accurate in their reporting than their traditional media, because traditional media is third party, and sometimes the traditional media have ulterior motives or have different political interests from the leaders, and they may report things in a different way. Okay, so this one give them a direct communication, and it's faster. Okay, so our Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong is also a member of LinkedIn, and I get to follow him and keep up with all the information that he has posted on LinkedIn. Okay. Okay, so I'll just pause here for a few minutes to see if you have any questions about the use of LinkedIn for prospecting